about moving or vacationing in Pensacola, Florida? Well, today we are in downtown Pensacola at the Brent Lofts. The Brent Lofts is a project 9 years in the making, and it has been a labor of love for all of those involved. And it's absolutely beautiful condominium renovation that they've done of this historic building.
Yes, actually, we're going to show you two beautifully refurbished or really rebuilt condo units in this historic building. The building actually was built in 1906, but you'll never know that by looking at these beautiful condos.
Yeah, they did an amazing job. So we're going to take you for a tour of these units and show you around this whole development. Remember, if you like this content, hit subscribe, hit like, and follow us for more episodes.
Today we're in downtown Pensacola. I'm here with Billy Lovelace, and he is one of the developers on the Brent Lofts project. It's an amazing, beautiful, historic project. Billy spent a lot of years putting it together, and he's going to tell us a little bit about how it got started.
Well, let's see. In 2015, my partner, Bobby Switzer, and his two brothers, we acquired this property from the Durnford Enterprises, which basically was the Rainwater family here in Pensacola, Florida. And we've been renovating and trying to get it up to modern standards since that time. We have the entire block here from Garden over to Balin and down to Romana. We started with basically with the Blunt building, which is a 7-story building on the corner. And we've worked our way through the Brent building that we're in now, which is a 3-story building that runs 285 feet down Palafox Street. And we have retail shops and restaurants and stores on the ground floor. And about 2.5 years ago, we started on the final project of finishing off the block here, which was the Brent Lofts that you're in now. We have 30 condominiums on 2 floors here in the Brent. There are 10 on this floor, the second floor that we're on now. The north half of this floor is occupied by a co-work space. And then on the 3rd floor, we have 20 units. And those units are actually available. And we have 15 that we are renting short term through VRBO and Airbnb.
And that's mostly on the 3rd floor.
That is only on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Correct.
And the 2nd floor is owner occupied.
The 2nd floor is long-term and owner-occupied floor. So it's mostly what we call our living floor.
Yes.
So the Brent building and the Blunt building literally date back to 1906.
Wow.
When after the great Halloween fire of 1905, the original 3-story wooden buildings burned to the ground. The entire block was destroyed.
Wow.
And then Mr. Blunt and F.C. Brent, who happens to be Bobby Switzer's great-grandfather,
one of the developers,
one of the owners, built these buildings back. And they were actually the first concrete and steel buildings in the state of Florida.
Wow.
So it's quite a legacy here that we have. Again, my partner's great-grandfather, Mr. Brent, being the original builder.
Yeah, that sure is.
So literally late in the 70s, these buildings are like many buildings in downtowns throughout the country, fell on hard times and disrepair. In 1980, Crawford Rainwater, who was the Coca-Cola folks again here in Pensacola, bought the buildings from the Brent estate. And he started the renovation project then.
Okay.
But Mr. Rainwater passed away in the early 90s. And basically at that point, development and renovation of the buildings pretty much ceased until we acquired again in 2015.
Okay.
And that's when real development of the entire block and the creation of these condos based on our original plans for a property that was live, work, play,
Yeah.
all in one location at the center of downtown Pensacola. And that's where we are today. Now we have, again, 30 units here in the Brent Lofts.
Yes.
And we still have 2 that we have available for sale, but the other 28 have all been acquired and closed at this point. And now we're in the rental program with the units, and things are moving along well.
Well, you've done an amazing job. The decoration, the natural brick, you've left the historic feel of the building overall, but the interiors of these units are just gorgeous. Where do you advertise for your short-term rentals?
Well, obviously we use the 2 main services, which are VRBO and Airbnb. We also have our own booking website for the Brent Lofts, and remember with Visit Pensacola, and we're using as many local advertising outlets as possible. E.W. Bullock Associates, the advertising firm, is assisting us with our marketing program. So we're getting a lot of traction right now. We had quite a good March with spring break occurring. So we had most units have been booked a number of times in this month. And since we only started back in November and we went through dead of winter for the beginning, we're definitely getting quite a lot of activity right now.
That can be challenging in Pensacola in the wintertime. But it's an amazing location. It's right on Palafox. You've seen Jenny and I do several different episodes on Palafox highlighting downtown Pensacola. These units, if you stay on the 3rd floor, you have a beautiful deck you can use.
We call it the Sky Lounge.
The Sky Lounge.
And
that's a great name for it.
Perfect for outdoor just gatherings. We are have a program for the owners, and in certain cases, even guests that could reserve the Sky Lounge for a private event.
That's a wonderful feature to have.
That is.
On these units. But yes, you can walk out from the main entrance and be right on Palafox, which is a very walkable street. There's restaurants, bars, art galleries, jewelry stores, all kinds of things to see and do on and off Palafox Street. So come and check out the Lofts and stay for a while or live here for long term. So let me ask you a couple more questions. What is the part that you're most proud of on this project?
Well, the entire project has been a labor of love for the last 9 years, and we have a fantastic staff that has helped us get to this point. Most of the buildings have all been renovated now. We're in the process of finishing one of the buildings on Garden Street that actually was the original home of the Driftwood restaurant, which was quite famous here back in the 60s, 70s, and finally closed at some time in the 80s, I believe. But I think just the overall accomplishment of all the buildings functioning together, we have actually created some corridors that did not exist before that attached some of the buildings. Now the Brent building and the Blunt building have had a connection for a number of years, but it's basically been getting to the point that we are now where we finally finished the living portion of our original plan with the Brent Lofts, and to have owner occupants here in the building. That creates a whole different type of dynamic in a property when you have a living component in a mixed-use project like this. That is not just 9 to 5. This is a 24/7 property now, with people coming and going at all different times of day. We have people that work and literally live here, that have units and their offices here at the same time.
That's a wonderful feature.
It's been quite a change in a building that was less than fully occupied. We are basically at near 100% occupancy across the board on this entire block.
That is amazing accomplishment.
Well,
and we are going to go take a look at a couple of those units. Stay tuned, and we'll be able to walk you through 2 units that are available that are just beautiful. You're going to really enjoy it. And I want to thank you, Billy, so much for taking the time out to talk to us today.
No problem.
And share the history of the project with us.
You're welcome.
And you've been wonderful to visit with.
Well, thanks a lot. We're glad to have you and glad to have your interest in the project.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
We hope you enjoyed this video of the Brent Lofts in downtown Pensacola, Florida. Please like and subscribe for more content from your Gulf Coast gals. Give us a call, text, email, or let's hop on a Zoom call if you would like to speak to us about real estate on the Florida Gulf Coast. All of our contact information is in the contact description below.